insane, you guys. I can't believe it.
Jacob's having success in the sand.
I told myself in the camera over and over again I was going to kill this buck today.
As you guys just saw, I spotted a really nice buck. It's starting to get a little bit light out. That's a shooter, baby. Let's go. Nice. Oh, he's still there. Let's go. It's a great buck.
I got down from that glassing knob with full confidence. I was going after this buck. I told it to myself in this camera over and over again. I was going to go in there and I was going to shoot that buck. It didn't matter what the wind was doing. It didn't matter if I was freezing to death. It didn't matter if my hiking boots were filled with water. It didn't matter. I was going in there and I was going to kill that buck. Not for one moment did I lose any confidence. Not for one moment did I let doubt creep in. I was certain that this was going to happen, and I did everything I could. I paid attention to every little twitch of the wind. I looked at every single piece of cover. I worked up to the edge of that island.
Shane Simpson just texted me and said he shot one. That he's getting ready to trap one. That's sweet.
And I crept in through the sunflowers, and I observed every single piece of brush for 5 minutes straight. Every place that that buck could have been bedded, I laid my eyes on and I waited for him to twitch. I waited long enough until I was certain that every area was clear, and then I progressed past the cover that I couldn't shoot through. As I worked up past that cover, I stood up and I saw to my right side that he wasn't where I last saw him. He wasn't where I thought he bedded down. And then I began to wonder, was he even on this island? I had a few days left, and I had to make them count. I wasn't going to sit here all day long waiting for a buck that wasn't there. Now there's a few things in this hunt that I did right. When I got to cover that I wasn't confident an arrow could fling through, I moved past it. I slowly worked past that wild sunflower that was going to result in my arrow being deflected, and that was going to result in another injured animal. I had finally worked past that cover that I couldn't shoot through, and it was a painstakingly long process, analyzing every single piece of cover along the way. But I was finally out. I was in the clear. But that was the problem. I was in the clear. I was in a wide open area, and I didn't see antlers anywhere. I didn't know where that buck was going to come from, and all he needed to do was see me for a split second. I wasn't going to be able to draw. I wasn't going to be able to sit down in that cover and still get a shot. I was in a bad spot, but I couldn't go back. I couldn't go back to an area that I wasn't going to get a shot off. I needed to keep progressing, and I needed to go until I saw where he was or got some piece of sign that told me where he was, and I could just wait him out from that point, knowing which direction he would come from, and that way I could be at the draw and ready and watching there for when he would come back. I glanced over to my left, and at just 4 yards away, I saw the buck I was after this whole time bedded. I could clearly see his neck, head, and massive rack.
No. No. Oh my God. Oh my God. He was right here. I can't believe it. If he would have just stood up and stayed still for a second, I would have killed him. God damn it! There's a giant too.
After this hunt, I reviewed what went wrong and what went right. The things I did well was I took the risk in glassing, even though I knew it might not lead to an opportunity. I stalked immediately after I saw that buck disappear, and I went right after where I had last seen him. I went slow, I took my time, and I analyzed all pieces of cover before walking further for anything that might get in the way of me, anything that might be extra special for him to bed at, or areas where I might be able to see his antlers. I ranged every single area that buck could have come from, and I was sure of all of my ranges as I proceeded in that bedding area. I poached from a side wind, which was extremely beneficial. That side profile makes it so a buck looking downwind and smelling upwind can't see or smell you. I stayed calm and I stayed confident. Things I did poorly is I went too far into his bedding area, and then I started to let doubt creep in on whether he was actually there or not. I felt the pressure of the time of the hunt running out. I felt that trip winding down on me, and I didn't wait long enough. I could have given it more than 1 hour. I whistled to try to get him to stand. This is something that might have drawn some special attention to me, and it's something that probably didn't help my hunt at all. So I get to shed a quick tear about that. That was the coolest hunt I think I've ever had. It would have been a lot cooler if I would have killed him. With all these things into account, I felt sorry for myself, but I knew I needed to move on. I called my dad, I called my friends, I explained to them what happened, and they all had the same thing to say to me. They told me, you need to get back out there. You don't got much time left. You gotta go find where that buck moved. You find where the other bucks are. There's more out here. Use your skills, relocate some deer, quit repenting, and go find your redemption.
Oh my God. That's him. Let's go.
What did you say?